So one of the things that I love to do when I get new Star Wars figures is to compare them with the previous versions. And that's no different when it comes to the Jabba the Hutt action playset. In fact, the vintage one was from, 83, was one of my favorite toys. I still have it to this day. So let's kind of jump in and look at the history of Jabba thrones, and is the new one amazing? Now, one thing that should be noted about the new one is this is the first time this sculpt has been available as a single Jabba. You didn't have to buy something else. Previously, he was packaged with other things, and he does work with the new playset for Book of Boba Fett. And in fact, reuses some parts from Book of Boba Fett's, like the throne and the skins over the throne. So we'll get more into that. I mean, obviously you have to swap around a lot, and the Book of Boba Fett has lots of other little extra things, but it does have some of Jabba's stuff. And it's cool because you can add on the frozen carbonite wall that came out at Walmart a year or so, well, like 3 years ago. It was during the pandemic, wasn't it? I love that they're starting to build up actual scenes. They're going to do the same thing, they meaning Hasbro, with the upcoming cantina, since we got the outside of the cantina as part of it, which honestly is one of my favorite pieces. I can't wait to get this because I can put like a little dewback there and put, like some sand troopers and long snoot and, stuff like that. So, yeah, so Hasbro's doing a Streets of Mos Eisley add-on, much like they have the add-on Jabba Han Solo carbonite wall that can be added on to the Book of Boba Fett throne room to continue to build out. They're really getting into the whole scenes. I think they're realizing this, mature collectors, it's the next best thing. Having a, playset of your favorite movie is the next best thing to actually visiting it. Whoa, yeah, you can actually visit the cantina. Isn't that crazy? It's still there. All right, so let's look at some Jabbas. Of course, the first modern one was the Power of the Force 2, based on Special Edition. Then we had some Episode 1 figures, the Jabba that spit out a little, like, frog thingy that he's eating, which means if he doesn't have the frog thing in his mouth, he looks like he's, I don't know, like the backup pilot from the movie Airplane. And then the Jabba Glob, which I never bought either. I wasn't sure if this is Episode 1, even though it does look a little bit more like Episode 6, but it's more of like an action thing, not an action figure. Our first modern Jabba was in the Gold Card Saga series, and I especially liked this one because, one, he had articulated arms, but he also came with the little froggy dude, and you could take his tongue in and out. Plus, right next to him, hanging on the same peg, was more of his goons. All right, next up came the Walmart version, which was like 2013-ish, when like when Clone Wars was really big and the blue packaging. This one came with the whole throne, which was the first time that we got that in the modern line, and it came with Ula, and it came with Salacious Crumb, and it was a completely new sculpt. And the best part was it came with pillows, tooled pillows. All right, then later on, when 3 3/4 was also called Black Series, and this giant Toys R Us set that would probably be like $300 today, the only new thing in this set with a whole bunch of repacks was a new Jabba, completely 100% new. So I bought it off eBay. I wasn't going to buy the whole set because I already had the Rancor, and I already had the Gamorrean card, and the Slave Leia. So, although you could always use an extra Slave Leia now that you can't get her anymore. All right, well, get her, meaning there won't be new ones. You could always go on eBay. So this was a brand new Jabba that came with this Rancor set, and then it was reused when, you can see there in the sail barge, which I did not get the sail barge. Not just because I like sushi, but because I'm more of a Jabba's Palace guy, not a sail barge guy. I'm not really into vehicles, but I did pass on this Jabba, hoping that I'd be able to get him again, or buy maybe him just off eBay, since he is a redeco of the version with the Rancor set. So the version with the Rancor set had like little like drippies there on his mouth, you can see, and the version in the sail barge lost them and had a little bit of a touch-up in the face. So slight paint upgrade. I guess you'd call that just different enough to make you go crazy. But I did pass on this since I passed on the sail barge. Now let's talk about the throne itself. The problem is getting reference because it's kind of all over the map. And, it gets changed around based on if Ula's on it or if Leia's on it, etc., etc. Mostly behind-the-scenes footage, so we can see exactly where the pillow's located and where do the different animal skins droop over. So again, I love the Walmart set. I love that they have tooled pillows. Not so much on this new one, because they're all soft goods, which is a much less expensive way of producing something. And I'm not totally thrilled with how they came out. But we'll get into that in a moment with well, let's take a look, because You can buy a Jabba by himself, but, well, how does he stack up? Let's take a look. All right, well, we're going live here. Let's take a look at the history of Jabba the Hutt playset. So obviously, we're gonna start with the one from the '80s. This was a favorite toy of mine. I mean, boy, did I love it! And I'm really glad that they found an entire warehouse full of Salacious crumbs and hookah bowls, because I was able to replace mine, even the little string that is used to tie up not slave Leia. I think this one is particularly important, this Jabba. Whoops, he's all tangled. But he actually has the marking, I don't know if you can see it, but the tattoo that I didn't even know he had until I was an adult. But man, this Jabba like really stood for a long time, and I love that the inside even had like his you could use it as the Rancor's dungeon and just trap figures down there. So that Jabba was a classic. All right, we didn't get a modern one. We got Power of the Force 2. This was based on the special edition, as I noted, and you know, it had a little action feature, but not the greatest one. It definitely does not look like Return of the Jedi in the least. Then we have our little the Gold Saga one, which came with a little bit of his throne. It came with this, you know, piece, and it came with the hookah, because, you know, selling kids hookahs and enslaved women is fun and educational. I really appreciated this one because it had the removable tongue. I thought that was awesome, but not also the greatest portrait. But at least we finally had a Return of the Jedi Jabba, which was the first time since, you know, the '80s that we had one. So even though this was a single card and didn't come with his throne. So, all right. Our next Jabba did come with a throne, this guy. So this was the Walmart version. Again, the facial portrait not the greatest, but at least he did get articulation in the hands, which was nice. We never had that before, or at least, you know, never had elbow movement. Yeah, the face is like not the greatest, but what was really cool was he came with a throne that was amazing. Now, the reason I like this throne so much is the pillows. They tooled up pillows, which was like freaking awesome. And they tooled up like cloths that bend over. So yeah, it also used the exact same hookah stand as the previous single carded release. So they repurposed that. But yeah, this was a really cool one, and we'll get to the best part. And of course, it came with a Salacious Crumb, but we'll get into him in a moment. All right, and then of course, finally, the new one, this guy here. So definitely, this is a you know, repaint of the sail barge and the Rancor version. All new piece. It's, you can see it's bigger than this version. Repaint of Jabba comes with lots of little fun little things, like, I guess, is this for Leia to eat off of? I don't know. It also comes with 3 of his glasses, which is interesting because you also had this one that came with Leia, which is better because it's decoed and it's clear. So same glass. And yeah, so let's talk about some of the differences here. So I'm going to kind of move the Jabbas here and get rid of all of the little chotch that's on top, so we can just take a look here. All right. So let's start with the hookah stand. So you could see, compared to the previous version, it's a lot longer, which is cool because that's more movie accurate. You could see the length. And then as far as the actual base, so here we have the Walmart one, and here we have the new one. So similar, but you can also see thicker. And the bottoms, this one has detail on it, and this one has rollers. So I'm guessing this one here, which is the one that came with both the playset on HasLab and the new single-carded Jabba, is the most film accurate and the one I recommend using. However, I'm going to populate it with the pillows because the soft goods that come with this one, while it's really cool, we get these little guys, which were like the furs that Jabba was sitting on. I'm trying to get this so you can see. The pillows, the other pillows, they are double-sided. They're not just pieces of cloth like this is. So that's just a piece of cloth. This is actually sewn. I don't like soft goods. Soft goods are very inexpensive, especially compared to tooling. The reason that they, went with, say, like that, this is a lot less expensive to make than this. And I'm sure they don't have the tool for this anymore, the pillow. It's long gone. Now, the one thing, though, that you can't get, this, Slave Leia on her pillow, which was available in the, what was it? It was right after the 30th anniversary series when they were using the white cards. She was re-released in the vintage series without the bottom, the pillow part. Her torso pulls apart there, so you can plug her onto her feet or plug her onto this cool base that is her squatting. And it's sad to me that they won't make this anymore. So because Slave Leia doesn't get made, even though she's called Jabba Murderer now, or Jabba Defeater, Hutt Slayer. That's it. That sounds better, right? So what I'm personally going to do is I'm going to make a combination. I'm going to use these soft goods. I'm going to use the hard pillows from the Walmart set. And I'm probably just going to ditch these soft goods pillows because, honestly, I'm just not thrilled with them. And I have better options with the Walmart pack. Now let's look at Salacious real quick. And then we'll get to IG-88. Not IG-88, 88. Here's the original Salacious, not my original. I had to reorder this from that trove of 1983 Salacious that were found in a warehouse. Yay. Now, the next one we got was this guy, who came with both Ula and Amenemon in the modern line. So, more accurately sized. And then we got this guy, who came with a bunch of things. He came with the Walmart set. He came with the C-3PO that has the green goo and the eye that pops out. And then this one was also issued on a single card. And that was part of the issue. So they reissued that single card. Originally, it was at San Diego Comic-Con as part of the Revenge of the Jedi Death Star set. And they actually numbered it as part of the system, number 66, along with a mouse droid, which in hindsight was probably not the greatest idea, because for those of you who are completists, you can't complete it without this. This one, you'll notice, is 66A and also has Disney on there, so it's a different card. More so, it's a completely different figure. It's not the same figure. Look, we're going to open it up right here, live. Oh no, I'm opening up like a carded figure that could be worth, tens of dollars. All right. So yeah, this is a completely new. Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, look at that. That's got a lot of great articulation. Head. Does his legs move? Yeah, they're articulated. So there you go. That is, you can compare that to the previous version, or the previous version. So interesting, better size to this one. So yeah, it's a totally new one, even though it's on the old card with the old system. So I'll be using the new one. I'll be using my Slave Leia, and I'll be using my my Jabba. The Jabba, by the way, yeah, I'm really impressed with this. Obviously a repaint, but it's a good repaint. And so between all of these different parts, kind of kit bash the best possible Jabba's palace. Oh, last one I haven't shown you yet is the new 88. Now this one changed from the prototype. In the prototype, he had his clamps were open, like that. And now they're closed, which is correct. I've rarely seen a prototype figure get changed. He does lack a little articulation, I would have expected. He's got articulation on the legs. His elbows don't move. He's got waist swivel and a head that's a little bit on a ball joint there. Now, obviously, he is superior to the Power of the Force 2 version. In fact, it's interesting. This is we haven't had this figure since Power of the Force 2. He's one of the rare figures that hasn't been produced since Power of the Force 2. And of course, here's the original vintage one, which was one of my favorites. Still holds up. An amazing toy. But yeah, I mean, if you look at this, even compared to this, the bug-eyed droid that was part of the Build-A-Droid series, he's got articulation in the elbows, in the knees. I kind of thought they were going to use him as a buck to build 8D8 because they have, very similar leg structure-ish things. But yeah, he is not as articulated as other droids that we've had in the past, which is kind of disappointing. But he does have a lot of deco, and that's probably why he doesn't have accessories, because that's a lot of deco to pack onto a figure these days. I know it sometimes doesn't feel like that, but that's kind of a Boba Fett level of deco with he's also decoed on the back, etc., and all his legs. Is this gonna come out with the sunlight? All right, so that's your Jabba set. We get these really cool little animal skins, and we get all these little soft goods pillows that I'm not going to use because the tooled ones that came with Walmart are way cooler. All right, that's the modern Jabba. All right, so back to still shots here. So here you can see all these Salaciouses, as well as the different Jabba glasses. The one on the left there is the one that came with Leia, and the two little froggy dudes. The much smaller black one is the one that comes with the current one. So, yay. All right, looks like I got to rearrange my entire Jabba the Hutt display. So, cool to get, some things to use with this new set, some things to toss out, but I think between the Jabba and the throne, we got some good stuff, and the new Salacious Crumb and 8D8. I hope you liked this video, and if it was helpful, please do share it with others. It's the best way to support this channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for sharing, and I'll see you guys next time.